Hello and welcome to Extreme Metal Television. I am your host, Mark. Simon is away on 70,000 tons of metal. I'm sure when he gets back, he's going to have some really exciting interviews. But in the meantime, we have one hell of a show for you guys. We have Zakk fucking Wylde on this episode. We also catch up with the Orange Goblin guys. JP is going to be by with some wicked words. And we're going to introduce the latest member of the Extreme Metal Television team. Rotten Ross from Metal Nation Radio is going to count down his top 5 best albums of the month. But in the meantime, the underground spotlight falls on Illuminated Minerva.
All right, guys, tell us a little bit about the new album.
Well, it's a 3-song EP that's almost 30 minutes long, and it has audio clips about sort of conspiracy stuff, and it's just a prog metal good time for 30 minutes.
So what all went into creating this album?
Well, a lot of sifting through audio clips and the regular kind of stuff like recording and ripping it up with Alan Sasha Laskow, that's for sure, because he was very good to record with. He knows, so much about recording and things like that, so it was very easy, and it just took way too long. That's all that happened.
Yeah, well, I guess like the writing process too happened, and that lasted years, but we went through a guitar player change, Patty Law, new guitar player.
Member, yeah.
So that just took up a lot of time when the album probably should have came out years before or whatever, but it's out now and it sounded sweet.
Illuminated Minerva is an instrumental band. Is there a reason why you decided to go instrumental as opposed to have a vocalist?
Well, I don't know. It just kind of went that way. Like, I used to like to sing and play guitar, but then guitar playing kind of got a little too crazy to sing and play over. And, I don't know, it's just different. It's way better than having somebody who can't really sing, you know what I mean? Kind of like derfing his way through our rad tunes, you know what I mean? And it's just different. I like it. It's kind of hot now, instrumental music.
Yeah,
so
it's more accessible now. I think we dabbled with the idea and tried. We didn't necessarily really try out anybody, but we're always like, oh, we'll wait till we release this, and then people will be able to hear it, and we'll, interview people or whatever and have tryouts. But I think we just eventually decided that we like it. Plus, on the recording, it's good to hear the audio clips with it because they sort of become the vocals in a way. Yeah. And I think we explore that a little bit more, then it sort of fills in the gap with no vocals.
We're kind of working on our next thing here, 5 more songs with Sasha again, and it's going to be a ripping good time for sure.
Drums are done on those already.
Yeah.
And we're already working on 2 newer songs.
2 new songs, yeah. So we're even writing for the album after the album that hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah. That's out either ahead or behind.
Yeah.
Whichever way you want to look at it.
Hello everyone, you're watching Extreme Metal TV. My name's JP from metalrules.com, and on this segment of Wicked Words we're going to be looking at Iron Maiden. Now normally Iron Maiden isn't all that extreme these days, but they did a tour a little while back that was very extreme. We're going to talk about a book about that tour. So of course you guys all heard the double live album Flight 666. And all of you guys saw the movie Flight 666. But now you can own the companion book Flight 666. This is the official companion piece of the tour, and it's a fantastic book that came out a few years back. It was published by John McMurtry, who was the official photographer of the tour. He joined the band as they toured all across the world. Now, of course, what was sort of extreme about the Iron Maiden tour, of course, they chartered and created their own airplane so they could tour all across the world. This fantastic coffee table book is several hundred pages long, hardcover, and has a number of fantastic features. It starts with some schematics of the airplane, has a long introductory essay by Bruce Dickinson who talked about the flight, and of course he was the pilot on the entire journey. And it's absolutely loaded with many shots, from concerts, live shots, intimate shots, anything that you can think of. He was there with his lens capturing the entire tour. The book is available now for sale in your retailers, and you can complete your Iron Maiden Flight 66 collection by owning this today.
Zakk Wylde has had a storied career, starting out as Ozzy's guitar player at 19 years old and then going on to front Black Label Society. He's seen the good, bad, and ugly of rock and roll. Our own James caught up with him when he was in town with BLS.
Tell us about the recording process on the new album there, Catacombs of the Black Vatican.
Oh, the recording process? No, it's just, I mean, pretty much the way we've always done it. I mean, it's just going either with no ideas or anything like that and then just knock it out. But I mean, but no, this one I remember I just asked my wife Barbara Ann, I said, well, how much time do I have before the fellas get out here? She was like, you got about 25 days. I was like, all right, I got 25 days to write a record. So, you know, then I don't know whether you put a deadline on something that's going to get done. You know what I mean? So, you know, every day I'd go out there and write. And the way I look at it, it's like digging for dinosaur bones. I mean, if we know they're out here within this 2-mile radius, if we don't find anything today, we'll just keep looking tomorrow. And we'll look over this way, we'll look over here, we'll look over. Eventually, we're going to hit something. You know what I mean?
What are you currently listening to right now?
What am I currently listening to? Sam Cooke, Joe Pass, jazz guitar player. You know, and obviously your normal staples, you know, Zeppelin, Sabbath, Neil Young, Sarah McLachlan, Elton, Bad Company. I mean, you know, mostly like classic rock and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
What was your favorite album release this year?
My favorite album?
Yeah.
It would definitely have to be Black Label Catacombs. I really enjoy this band thoroughly. And they're really swell fellas as well, I hear.
And well, if you had to pick another album, what's the second best album this year?
The albums that I'm trying to think. The albums of 2014. I'm trying to think. Well, it depends on what genre of music, but I mean, what's the last album I picked up? I'm trying to think of new stuff. Because I'm trying to think who's. Oh, Beck. You know the Beck, the artist. Yeah, so not Jeff Beck. Beck. Yeah. You know, Beck Hands or whatever. But yeah, I got his album. I love it. You know, when he does all the mellow stuff, it's just amazing. So yeah, I got that one.
All right, and
Robert Plant. I got Robert Plant's last album.
That is a good album. What can we expect next from you guys?
Aside from the, you know, what we're showcasing tonight, the winter and fall fashion line, spectacular. I guess no, just tons more touring. You know, to pay off. You know, for the bar tabs that we haven't paid off since the early days, the Animal House years of Black Label.
All right, and
which we'll be paying off for quite some time.
Just two more things. We have a segment.
But they were good times, let me tell you.
We have a segment called Terrible Tales from the Road. Just funny or entertaining stories from touring.
Terrible Tales from the Road. Obviously, back in the day, would have to be the biggest nightmare would not be having any alcohol in the submarine, in the Black Label nuclear submarine. That would be a travesty right there. I mean, that would be life-threatening right there. So, because that is the bloodline. But no, I'm trying to. You know, I remember we had this gorgeous girl that was in the sub one time, and I remember she was just like, "Oh, would it be cool?" I think it was on the Ozfest. She was like, "Do you mind if I use the bathroom?" You know, and we're like, you know, instead of using the porta johns, you know.
Yeah.
So we're like, yeah, no problem. Just go ahead and use the bathroom. So usually you just put the sign on there because it's common knowledge. You can't, you know, go number 2 on the bus, and you know, and girls don't do that anyways. You know what I mean? So it's nothing. Right. It smells like roses, and the only thing why they have a backside is just so we can gaze and stare at its beauty, and hopefully one day, if we're lucky, get in there. But the whole thing is this. But yeah, so we're all sitting around watching ESPN or whatever, and all of a sudden you just smell something really, really bad coming out of the vicinity of the front lounge, And we're all kind of looking at each other going, no, please say no. No. Look at, you took Santa from us. You took the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. Now, please, don't take this. We don't have much. But yeah, so that was pretty brutal. She didn't know and just walked out. But now once again, but that was during the drinking years, so we just kind of drank profusely until it numbed out our sense of smell, and we didn't know what the hell was going on.
Hey, this is Rotten Ross from Metal Nation Radio, and this is the Rotten 5 of 2014 on Extreme Metal Television. Formerly from Vancouver and now from Calgary, power metal band Scythia released their third full-length concept album, Of Conquest. This lively, epic musical journey will make you tap your toes and bang your head.
I'm heading away and I won't be back for a very long time. Hide your woes, show your smile, and pour my cup of wine.
Florida death metal pioneers Obituary released Inked in Blood, their first full-length release since 2009. Even though missing the visceral vocals of previous efforts, it still carries that signature Obituary groove and tone.
Violence, this speaks to me now. Violence is screams to the night.
Belgium's Aborted exploded eardrums last year with their release, A Necrotic Manifesto. These fiery flames aren't afraid to maximize blast beats or brutality. Death metal icons Cannibal Corpse last year released A Skeletal Domain. The whole album is fucking killer. Arguably the best technical death metal band in the world, Vancouver's Arcspire followed up their 2011 release All Shall Align with the Lucid Collective last year. I can't say enough about this album, so I won't. Just go and fucking buy it. And this is it for the first installment of the Rotten 5 here on Extreme Metal Television. Make sure you check us out on Metal Nation Radio. United we rock.
Orange Goblin have been making kick-ass music for 20 years. EMTV's Scott recently caught up with vocalist Ben Ward when they rolled through Calgary.
Orange Goblin, you guys have been around for for a long time yourselves.
It's our 20-year anniversary next year.
Yeah, 1997 was your first album. You did the split with fucking Electric Wizard.
We did the split with Electric Wizard in '96.
Yeah, so that's a long time.
But the band formed in '95.
Yeah. So what was it like doing that split album with Electric Wizard?
Well, it was only a split 7-inch. What happened was we started the band out of boredom. We were sitting around listening to doom metal, and obviously back then we were influenced by Cathedral, Trop, St. Vitus, Pentagram, Witchfinder General.
Pentagram, Cathedral.
Like that.
I've had the chance to sit down with Joe Hasselwender from Pentagram.
And we were like, we're doing nothing. Let's start a band of our own. And we started sending out demos of 3 songs we recorded. We just thinking we'd go no further than this. We'd do a few local shows. And we got in touch with a guy called Will Palmer, who was in a band called Mourn at the time. And they were signed to Rise Above Records, Lee Dorian from Cathedral. And we were scheduled to do a show with them in Camden. And Lee Dorian came down, checked us out, loved it. And he offered us a deal that night. Said, I want to sign you to Rise Above Records, and from there it just seemed crazy. The first album came out in '97, by '98 we'd done the second record, '99 we'd been to Japan and all over Europe supporting Cathedral. 2000, but we far exceeded our expectations as a band. It's just been a massive sort of downhill snowball of a ride, and it's, you know, we're still here 20 years later, playing with bands like that. It's been awesome.
And you know, like when you guys started in the late 90s, the music scene wasn't what it is now. Like nowadays, you get bands that start up, they upload the music to the internet, people download them, and it's like, what was it like starting?
Well, it was old school. It was all done by tape trading and word of mouth and sending letters. And, you know, the glory days. Before social media and stuff like that. So, you know, it's nice to be in a position that we've seen both sides of that. You know, we can say that we were around when you used to have to do that. You used to have to sort of,
like when you had to actually
send stuff to fanzines.
Absolutely.
These days it's all too easy to just build yourself a Facebook page and all of a sudden you send your music all over the world. And I don't think bands appreciate what they've got these days. And we're one of the old school that can appreciate. We used to have to, we've done so many toilet tours. That's why we appreciate what we've got now, playing with bands like down in cool venues like this.
How was the recording process for that?
It was pretty straightforward, really. We never changed our formula since the day we started. We leave everything to the last minute. So it's a real panic, it's a real rush. And we always find that when you're under pressure, you write the best materials. The first thing that comes up is the most natural, and that's what you should go with. I think bands that spend sort of a year and a half in the studio, fucking around with air and looking Sanaga, Wamatanga, was garbage.
So bad.
Heavy metal needs to be like instant and natural, and the first
what feels right.
Intuitive, it's gotta be, you know, you hear a riff, and it's that we're in the studio, someone comes up with an idea, and you're jamming, you get that buzz straight away, you're like, that's a riff and a half that.
Absolutely.
So,
being a musician myself, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So writing this album, that's how we left it to the last minute. I went on tour with another band as a tour manager and driver. So these guys wrote all the material and they didn't have a clue what I was going to do over the top of it. So we went in, it was all very intuitive and the lyrics came last minute, but it all sort of works. It fell into place, and when I started putting vocal melodies to their riffs, they were like, that's awesome. So we knew it was on top of it now. I'm very proud of the record. I think it's perfect amalgamation of the Orange Goblin albums and all of our influences. It sums us up.
That's going to do it for another episode of Extreme Metal Television. I'd like to thank all you guys for watching. I'd also like to thank the EMTV crew. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please remember to hit that like button and share this video. Remember, you can also follow us on Twitter at Extreme Metal TV and check out our homepage, extrememetal.tv. And until next time, see ya.